All right, good evening, everyone. And as I start out with everything, I've got the mask on just to remind folks that we need to remain vigilant. And things are a little bit downsized from what we are accustomed to here, but we truly appreciate all the help in getting this put together this evening, so thank you. On behalf of my colleagues, which you will hear from shortly, we would like to welcome everyone, those that are tuning in live and those that will be watching this as we have recorded it for those to watch it later on. At this point, we'd like to start officially, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. So if all would stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First of all, we'd like to thank all of our staff, all of our county staff. Two of our facilities guys are here this evening, and we couldn't have done this without your help. I know that Sean Lockhart and Scott Staub are here, so thank you guys very much for all your help. I would be remiss if we didn't start out tonight's ceremony by recognizing a couple things. Today is December the 7th, and we need to make sure that we continue to pay tribute to the 2,403 folks who lost their lives 79 years ago at Pearl Harbor, and certainly the things that occurred after that day. So let's not forget that. And also our deepest sympathies from Carroll County to the Sarbanes family. Senator Paul Sarbanes passed away yesterday, and he was quite an individual, and I know my colleague, Commissioner Rothstein, had a chance to interact with him personally, but he made a big difference here in the state of Maryland. So our condolences to the Sarbanes family. I would also like to recognize the Reesner family from District 1, the Keysville-Kemar area. I know that Dave's not here tonight, but Dave's wife, Rebecca, and daughter, Becky, are both here. Ladies, thank you so very much. I got to tell you, this is one of the best trees that we've ever had here. So we truly appreciate your donation, and thank you so very much for being a part of our celebration. And there are going to be a lot of folks that drive by here that will take advantage of seeing this beautiful tree. So thank you very much, and make sure you tell Dave that we said thank you as well. We appreciate it. With that, I would like to introduce my colleagues. And I'll begin with, I'm going to go right in order, with District 2, Commissioner Dick Weaver.
Thanks, Steve. This year is very difficult to stand here and wish people a happy holiday season. I know many of you have lost, or many people have lost jobs, are struggling to keep their businesses afloat, and many families are dealing with the effects of COVID-related issues. Then I remembered my father-in-law told me a story of being stationed in Guam at 17 years of age. It was his first time away from home for the holidays. He tells the hearing the song, "I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams." This year, many of us will be away from home, away from friends, and away from family, but holidays are filled with hope. So I hope this holiday season will bring people closer together, if only in their dreams. Thank you.
From District 3, Commissioner Dennis Frazier.
Thank you for that applause. Okay, in these challenging times, it's a great thing that we can get together to celebrate this holiday season. Remember, it's not the adversity that's what's important, it's your reaction to it. I can't read this. That determines what happens next. So stay strong, endure what some people have called the worst thing that we'll face in our lifetimes, and we'll get through this together. Remember, the Christmas spirit will be with us as long as we stand hand to hand, figuratively, not really, against adversity. Have a happy holiday season and stay healthy.
And now he gets the applause. That's good. From District Number 4. Yeah, I'm not even sure what to say about this one. Commissioner Eric Boucher.
Good evening. Thank you, Commissioner Wance. I thought it'd be appropriate, in light of the pandemic, to read some Dr. Seuss, The Ending of How a Grinch Stole Christmas. Grinch is losing his vision as well. Let's see. Hard to see in this thing. Pooh-pooh to the who. They are finding out that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo. That's a noise that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did not hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, and then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. Well, I'm about to take that off to read this. All right, give me 1 second. My glasses were all fogged up in there. All right, let's go back to the story. But it was merry, very merry. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came somehow or another. It came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages. It came without bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef, or beast. Well, I think now is more appropriate than ever that story rings through in all of our hearts. Because even with this pandemic, Christmas not be stopped. Because Christmas lives in all of our hearts. And in spite of what we're faced with, our love for Christmas and our love for one another will ring true. And with that, I'll conclude. Thank you. All yours.
I'm trying to decide what looks better, mask on or mask off. I'm not sure. Now my colleague from District 5, Commissioner Ed Rothstein.
Okay, so it is very difficult to follow that, but I'll try. I'll start with what I'm going to finish with, and I do believe life is good. And Commissioner Wance, thank you for sharing our condolences for Senator Paul Sarbanes. I've got to meet him multiple times, and today was a good day for me to reflect on the senator and his son with their infectious personality and smiles, keeping strength to the entire community. He will definitely and dearly be missed. I'm wishing everyone a very safe, a very healthy and a very happy holiday season. As it was shared, these are challenging times, and I do believe we're going to get through this neighbor to neighbor by doing what's right. I ask that we keep all of our men and women in uniform, those in blue, those in red, those in green, that may be far away in harm's way, in our prayers and our thoughts, and giving them strength to carry on. And also, this is a time to think about those that are on the front lines in healthcare, our physicians, our nurses, our caretakers, again, giving them strength to persevere and to take care and protect those that are challenged and ill during these challenging times. I feel great. I feel opportunity and blessed to wish everybody a very happy Hanukkah, a very Merry Christmas, and a very happy holiday season. Thank you. And life is good.
Okay, before I bring up our next guest, just a couple things that I want to talk about when it comes to this beautiful tree and the Reasoner family again. This is a Douglas fir. It's 25 to 30 years old. I believe that Dave Reasoner planted this himself. And, yep, I'm getting the nod from the family, which is remarkable. And his property, and their property where this tree is from, is actually in Keysville and was originally a part of the Francis Scott Key farm property. So we are, again, incredibly honored to have this tree, and we thank you very, very much for your donation. Now we're doing something a little different this year, and we would be remiss if we didn't pay tribute. Commissioner Rothstein kind of touched on it. But because of the 9 challenging months that we've been through, we thought it would be only fitting to have our health officer, Mr. Ed Singer, say a few words this evening before we light our tree. So Ed, if you'd come up, please.
Thanks, Commissioners. I appreciate you inviting me here tonight to say a couple of words before we light the tree. You know, it's difficult. 2020 has been a difficult year for all of us, and you know, I was thinking, well, it's usually a time when I reflect and think about all the things I'm thankful for, and I have to say, there's a lot to be thankful for this year from my perspective. I want to really thank the county government and all the folks in the county agencies that have been so helpful trying to help us manage this pandemic. I want to really thank our community partners, all of the nonprofits that are doing what they're doing. I want to thank the healthcare workers, especially those that are in the long-term care facilities that are dealing with such stress every day. And thank the first responders. It's a lot of stress on everybody. Really like to thank public health staff, and specifically my staff at the Carroll County Health Department. They've really stepped up to the plate, and I'm amazed at the things they've been able to do. I want to thank the frontline workers, those people that are working in restaurants, food service workers, people that are keeping the grocery store shelves stocked. And for those businesses that have struggled to help keep the community safe by putting in place COVID-19 mitigation things, whether it's wiping down the carts or putting down tape in the store to keep people spread out so that we don't spread this disease from one to another. I want to thank the teachers and the school staff that have worked very hard to make sure that our kids can still be educated in this difficult time and had to adjust to virtual learning, and the students that have had to deal with this. I'd like to thank all the volunteers, and we've had a number of them that have really been helpful to us at the health department in trying to staff this pandemic. And I'd really like to just thank all the citizens of Carroll County who are following the requirements that the governor put out and all the best practices to keep each other safe in Carroll County and making these sacrifices so that we can continue to move Carroll County forward. So I guess in closing, I just want to remind everybody that the holidays are a great time. We want to celebrate. We want to stay connected with those people who are isolated from us, but we want to do it safely. Anything we can do virtual is great. Last week, we had a record high number of cases, and I always tell the commissioners now, I feel like I'm the Grim Reaper coming and reporting bad news, but we had 346 COVID cases last week, which is an all-time high during the pandemic. And a lot of that is probably attributable to the fact that families gathered over Thanksgiving. And I don't want to be the Grinch I'll let somebody else be that, but I don't want to be the Grinch and say don't celebrate Christmas. I think, and don't celebrate the holidays. I think we should celebrate the holidays, but we've got to find creative ways to do it and keep each other safe. So I'd suggest to you to find safe ways to do this year. And, you know, if we celebrate the new year moving out of 2020, let's do it safely. Put 2020 in our rearview mirror, keep Carroll moving forward, and have a great holiday season. Thanks.
Okay, I mentioned that we were going to do something a little bit different, and we are going to do that at this time. You know, the toughest toll of all through this pandemic has been the loss of loved ones. Additionally, the difficulty of being able to be with loved ones who are in long-term care facilities or hospitals has been totally fractured. The disconnection of these past 9 months for these families has and continues to be insurmountable. This evening, before we officially welcome the positivity and brightness of this holiday season, we would like to pause to remember all of those who have passed away in Carroll County with a moment of silence consisting of 1 second for each person who has lost their life. We will pause to remember 166 souls to date, which will be a 2-minute and 46-second period of silence. As we and you pause to reflect, please also keep in your hearts and minds all of those healthcare workers, first responders, and all who have and continue to be on the front line of this pandemic. Now, let us pause for 2 minutes and 46 seconds to remember and reflect. That seems like a long time, but It is not a length of time that any of the families will ever forget. So thank you for being a part of this ceremony tonight. With that, I'm going to ask Mr. Ed Singer, our health officer, if he would come down front here and do the honors for us. You need to go down there to that switch, Ed. And if you guys, I know we're supposed to be social distance, but maybe a couple on the steps there. And Grinch, if you want to climb up the flagpole. No, I'm kidding. All right, we're going to do a, what do you think, five, four? Let's do a 5-second countdown. And on behalf of all of us here in Carroll County, thank you again for tuning in, and thank you for all that you do to make Carroll County the best county in the state of Maryland. With that, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, everyone. May the joy of this season be in your hearts as we continue to get through 2020 and hope for the best in 2021. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, commissioners. Thanks, commissioners. Thanks for all the support. Appreciate
Nicely
it.
done,
Good
Ed.
message.
Yep. Well, the hard. Hey, so you'll appreciate this, commissioners. So now.